Do you like cap space? Well, you know who likes cap space? Kyle Dubas. The Leafs trade Nikita Zaitsev, Connor Brown, and Michael Carcone to the Ottawa Senators for Cody Ceci, Ben Harper, and a third-round pick in 2020. No way! There was just an offer sheet. The Montreal Canadiens have tendered an offer sheet to Sebastian AHO. I literally just got this notification right now. This is the first time an offer sheet has been made since 2013. Oh my god. $8.4 million for AHO. Oh my god. The Hurricanes can match that, right? I think they can match that. And they said offer sheets were dead. Wow. That is something else entirely. 83 points in 82 games for AHO last year. Pretty good. Deserves $8.2 million probably. If the Canes don't match that, the Habs are a playoff team this year, no questions asked. Adding AHO to what they already have, they were very close to making the playoffs last year. AHO to that, just, wow, that fixes their offense problems right up. Put him with Domi, wow. And if Carolina doesn't match that, they already have a problem with offense. Losing AHO and they're screwed. They probably don't make the playoffs next year. But anyways, back to the original thing I was talking about. I forgot to include minor league forward Aaron Lachuk is also going from Ottawa to the Leafs in this deal. So, the Zaitsev deal. The Leafs dumped Zaitsev and Brown with it over $6.5 million in cap space, which is more than they lost in the Marleau trade, to Ottawa for Cody Ceci, who's currently an RFA, and Harper, who's probably going to be with the Marlies to start next season. Hopefully he's with the Marlies. If Harper is starting for the Leafs to start next season, their defense has way more problems than we already thought. So, I know where this is going, but weren't we trying to trade Brown for a second? Yes, and the return for Brown is not what we probably wanted. I would have liked a second. The third in there is kind of like, okay, sure. The third on this trade is kind of like the icing on the cake. It's kind of like we get basically the only thing of any value really moving here. That's not a slight to Connor Brown. He's a very good player, but for us, he didn't have any value playing on the fourth line for over $2 million. Wow, this video's everywhere. AHO just signed the offer sheet. Montreal's making the playoffs next year. Carolina's offense is screwed. Back to Zaitsev. So with Cody Ceci, the Leafs can do a couple of things. He's an RFA, so we can try to sign him, although last year he made almost the same amount of money as Zaitsev, just over $4 million, and he'll probably want more as he took a one-year bridge deal. And he also can go into arbitration. So if the Leafs don't offer him what he wants, he can request arbitration, and then a third-party source from the NHL will decide how much the Leafs should pay him. So we can do that, or we can just let him become a UFA and not sign him, let him become a UFA and lose him for nothing, or we can now try to flip him and get something of more use to us out of it, because trading Zaitsev for Ceci doesn't really solve anything. It's kind of basically getting another Zaitsev back for Zaitsev, especially with what Ceci's cap hit will probably be. So my money is on the Leafs trying to flip Ceci, in which case this trade becomes Zaitsev, Brown, and the Carcone and I don't even remember the guy, Lachuk or whatever, that got sent over to the Leafs, and Carcone going to the Sens. Minor league forwards doesn't really matter in the grand scheme of things unless one of them somehow end up playing actual minutes in the NHL. Carcone could actually play for the Senators given how weak their team was last season and if it continues to be weak. But what this trade does become is Zaitsev and Brown to the Senators, and the Leafs basically get a third and over $6.5 million in cap space, which is nice and good, and enough to re-sign Gardner, maybe? Fingers crossed. But yeah, overall, this is an interesting little move for the Leafs, opening up some cap space, losing guys who were problem players. Not that they were any bad, just that they were not worth what we were paying them. And now we have a Leafs team where pretty much everyone on this team is worth what we are paying them. And man, gotta get back on this AHO thing. This is the first offer sheet since 2013. And because the offer sheet was 8.454, this looks like, depending on what the further digits are, if there's an extra $872 in there for the AHO signing, the Canadians have to give up 2 firsts, a second, and a third, but if there's an extra $872 less in there, then they only give up a first, second, and third. So their first next year, gone. Their first in 2021 will depend on what those last 3 digits are. And I'd have to imagine that they didn't want to give up 2 first-round picks, so they probably signed him to the maximum amount that they could and not have to give up 2 first-round picks to get him. So it's likely Sebastian Aho to Montreal for a first, second, and third, which just so happens to be the exact same compensation that the Oilers gave up to get Dustin Penner 13 years ago, the last time an offer sheet was signed. And also, I just realized that I think Carolina still has time to match this. So they're not out of AHO yet, but I don't remember exactly what the time requirement is for them to match this. If they don't match it within that time, AHO's a hab. Wow. So anyways, that's it for this video. If you like this video, hit like. If you want to see more of my stuff, hit subscribe, and I'll see ya in about 20 minutes when I upload something about the Spezza signing.